Good work, Sir Shin.
Huh? Am I done already?
Despite being the demon commander, he doesn't have any important information. I guess we can score this one a miss.
Now then, Sir Shin, please execute this devil.
Huh?
What are you waiting for? Is your vocabulary so lacking that you don't even know the meaning of the word execute?
Execute? Don't tell me I have to... This person?
Celestia is not tolerant enough to take care of a prisoner who does not have any important information. Celestia, my sister yearns for a strong god who can carry out heaven's judgment on the devils. Now then, Sir Shin, please deliver your holy condemnation upon this devil.
Wait! We don't have to go so far as to kill him.
Are you perhaps feeling sympathy towards this devil prisoner because you peeked into his spirit world? I never thought God would ever feel sympathy for devils. That's quite hilarious.
Don't laugh! This guy has a family.
Sir Shin, I am well aware that we are asking you to perform a painful duty for someone who is originally a normal human. However, have you already forgotten how many angels fell victim to him before you were able to defeat this devil? 14. Of those 14, 9 of them had spouses and children waiting for them to return. The other 5 had parents waiting for them. To be unable to kill devils because they have families is not a valid reason. Would you feel the same if someone in your family was killed?
But unless someone stops the fighting, this violence will only be repeated.
This is war. Even if we stopped resisting, the only fate that awaits us is a massacre. Are you saying we should die without complaint?
I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that we should find some other way to solve...
There are none.
Fine then. After all, I am a god who was created to kill devils. If you want me to do it, then I'll do it.
Thank you very much, God.
It's no use. I can't do it.
Sir Shin, please get a hold of yourself. All you have to do is swing your fist down. You can do it.
I can't. It's impossible. I can't kill someone who isn't resisting. Why do I have to do something like this? If you want him dead, do it yourself.
I believe I have explained to you many times that defeating devils is your job as God. We expect a strong god who can mercilessly drop the hammer on devils.
That's only what you guys want! Don't involve me in that! Please, just leave me alone.
Hey, now he's crying. It appears Shin Kamikaze has a problem with his basic performance. His mental fortitude is far too weak.
Sir Shin...
Any more discussion would be a waste of—
Euthanize him?
You don't mind, do you, Jupi? Though it would delay his—
Understood. Miss Ariel, I leave...
Jupiel?
Someone must do it.
You fool!
That voice just now.
Meliel? You mean that girl from earlier?
Jeez, the fact that I've allowed a prisoner to escape. What's Mario gonna have to say about this?
Now is not the time to worry about such things. We must chase after him.
Stop!
Let her go. She has nothing to do with this.
Oh, sure.
This is bad. I am aware of that. Release Meliel, if you do.
There's no way. Fine.
Meliel! Sir Shin! Regarding Meliel's condition, she was somehow spared from death. However, the damage to her brain from the loss of blood was far too severe. She will probably never regain consciousness.
Okay, so it happens either way. I tried to... Jupiel tells me that Meliel will never have a future for me. That fact might as well have been a death sentence.
That's impossible. Something like that.
If only I hadn't hesitated to kill that devil. Meliel didn't have to be a victim. Is that what fate was telling me? If I admit that it's all my fault, will that so-called fate be satisfied? Screw fate! Damn it!
What's gonna happen to Meliel? Is she gonna stay like this for the rest of her life?
The will of Celestia has already decided. We must suspend life support and proceed with the reduction measures.
What the heck does that mean? Don't tell me.
Unfortunately, it seems that we were too late. Within this harsh situation of war, we cannot care for those who are no longer of use to us.
That sounds like a warning to me. You are a useless god. If you don't shape up, we will eradicate you too.
However, Meliel's death will not go to waste. With her amount of magic, she should be able to fuel the engine core for the next 100 days.
What are you talking about? Did you just jump to a completely different topic?
Securing energy is a matter of life and death. This Celestia suffers from a chronic energy shortage. My sister had to make a harsh choice.
What are you saying? What does suspending Meliel's life support have to do with Celestia's energy?
Magic is what powers Celestia's engine core. You could say that the bodies of angels are like blocks of magic. We must let the engine core absorb Meliel's body so that it can extract her magic.
That's desecrating the dead. Is that really something angels would do?
Do you believe that we enjoy doing this? That is how cornered we angels have become. We are facing extinction. We are in no position to refuse any means that are available to us.
As Jupiel softly spoke, those words, she explains Celestia's cruel recycling system to me. With the tears in her eyes, it looks as if she's desperately trying to repress her sadness and anger. Even Jupiel is still not fully convinced. Well, that's obvious. There's no way such a foolish thing should be allowed. Even after death, angels end up powering Celestia. There's no peace in death for them. This is not what heaven's supposed to be like. Later on, I threw up. I threw up over and over again. Even after my stomach was empty, I still tried to throw up some more. A sour taste starts permeating throughout my mouth. so disgusting. I'm starting to feel nauseous again. What should have I done differently? What did I make the wrong choice? Was it that I felt sympathy for that devil, that I become God without thinking it through? Or is it the fact that I was even born a mistake? Searching for answers that don't exist. Various questions swirl around inside my head, and then I throw up again. It's no use. There's no way I can keep all of this to myself. I want someone to listen to me. That's what I truly wish. The person I want to talk to is...
You better entertain me. Oh, well, if it isn't Kamikaze.
For some reason, just as I had wished, Ariel appears by sheer coincidence. No, it might not be a coincidence. I remember that the Fate Awakening crystal has the power to intervene with fate. Because of my praying, fate must have changed so that Ariel and I would meet here.
Can I talk to you for a little while?
What happened? You look quite pale. Have you eaten a proper dinner? If you'd like, I can give you some instant noodles.
I've completely lost my appetite. There's no way I could eat anything.
You're so sentimental. Even if you feel down, it won't bring those who died back to life.
Someone died right in front of you, you know? Don't you feel anything?
Would you be satisfied if I shed a tear or two? My tears weren't designed to bring you satisfaction. First of all, that situation was only possible because of your hesitation.
But you're the one who forced me into that situation with your tests and execution. I didn't want any part of that.
So what? Just so you know, Shin Kamikaze, do you really think the angels seriously revere you as God? To them, you are an ultimate weapon to exterminate devils. And no one respects a weapon for anything other than its ability to kill.
So God is just a name for the sake of appearances. But in actuality, I'm just a tool for war, huh?
I am a tool for war. And because that tool malfunctioned, Meliel ended up dying. Once again, I feel nausea in my stomach, unable to hold back. I throw up in front of Ariel, and then I start crying. Throwing up and crying. If only I could just expel all of the liquid in my body and just disappear.
Do you feel satisfied now?
Ariel waits by my side until I stop crying. She then hands me an unopened cup of instant noodles.
What is this?
Super spicy fire noodles. Let the spiciest flavor in all the universe blow away all the haze that has settled in your mind.
Are you, like, trying to make me feel better?
I don't make it a hobby to cheer up water fleas and paramecia. This is merely part of my experiment. Now then, eat it up all at once.
Ariel takes out a portable thermos and pours hot water into my instant noodle cup. Even if it's a coincidence, she's far too prepared. Exactly 3 minutes after pouring the water, I start slurping the noodles without a second thought, and all the universe certainly fits. I've come to discover that tremendous spiciness transcends pain and settles on heavy. However, that stimulation feels comforting to my darkened heart, and helps me forget about the bad things, if only just for a moment. Even though she denied it, Ariel might have been trying to make me feel better in her own unique way. After releasing as much sweat and tears as I could, I return to my room and fall asleep instantly, like a kid who's all worn out. I don't want to see someone die, ever again. I want to become a god who can save others, who can save the people important to me. No, I need to. That's the only way I can atone for my sins.
So, what is your assessment? Will Shin Kamikaze be able to become our ultimate weapon for the Armageddon to come?
Judging by power alone, he is above me. However, at this juncture, it appears that his mental state can sometimes be unstable.
Nobody yearns for a god who is mentally weak. First of all, a weapon has no use for emotions.
However, Sir Shin was originally a human who lived in a peaceful world. It will take some time for him to become a complete soldier. As his personal angel, I shall support him, so please, rest assured,
You must not spoil him, Jupiter. As the commander, I hereby give you an order. Make haste in Shin Kamikaze's instruction. Even with the high rate of surprise attacks we are launching through stealth mode, we are barely keeping up a guerrilla war. We must deliver a crushing blow that is so strong the devils will not be able to recover. That is why we have God.
Yes, understood.
Now then, I shall give the orders for our next move. We can no longer focus on defending. This time, we shall strike the prison camp. This should be the perfect mission to assess God's true worth. I have high hopes for you, Jupiter.
Yes, sister. I shall ensure the success of our next mission, no matter what.
Alright. So that was the end of mission 2, the Vessel of God. Next mission, we move on to an antidote for sadness.
What's with all the applause?
This is a celebration. We're obviously celebrating.
I don't really feel like there's anything to celebrate here.
You took the first step toward awakening. We celebrate.
First step toward awakening?
Congratulations. All right. Do your best.
The first time I had this dream was the last day I was a normal human. Since then, I've been having this dream pretty often. It's slightly different every time, but the pattern seems to be this unknown girl appears, says something one-sidedly, and then disappears. Her words are always ambiguous and incomprehensible. Actually, I don't even know why I've been dreaming about this. Well, in the end, it all happens inside a dream. To actually try to discover a rational meaning for it might be wrong to begin with.
Mission 3, an antidote for sadness.
I feel like everyone's getting pretty rowdy. Did something happen?
Alright. Leave a like, subscribe. I wanted to see if it would change at all, but it didn't. So I am going to just start going with my gut and how I feel about each choice. And we'll just continue from there. No more restarting. I just couldn't let... I didn't want Meliel to go like that. But she did. See you guys later. Bye. Bye-bye.